Kevin told us that you actually were prepared to do a cable show and a network show, and that it wasn't that easy to get you on board.
Well, I threw my hat into the ring for television probably about 3 or 4 years ago. Read some of the best scripts that I'd ever read, scripts that if they were movies I would do them in a heartbeat. But I thought to myself, in terms of the type of stuff I want to do and the things that I want to approach, it's probably going to be on cable. In fact, it's probably going to be on premium cable. This is what I thought 4 years ago. And then I went, well, Basic is doing some cool stuff, AMC and FX TNT. And then I was thinking, well, I'm definitely not going to do a network, but this is the one, I read it and I went, wow, this is really, it's pushing me on more. I like the character so much. I like that he's heroic, but at the same time, it's just kind of a mess, personally. I was amazed that they were so supportive and ready to go there, and so I said, yeah, okay, let's do it.
And I think one of the conditions you had was to have a shorter season. Why?
Well, a couple of reasons. One is that I looked at my wife's schedule, and she eventually started doing 15. And she just works so hard, to be the lead in an hour. Nobody really understands the amount of hours that you have to put in to do that. I mean, 16, 18-hour days, week after week after week. So that was one. Number two was, if they'll still have me, I want to make movies. I mean, that's the way I started, and that's a big part of my life.
Did she give you any advice for TV?
She gives me advice every day. Of course she gives me advice.
For the character himself, he's got a very fractured, lonely life.
Yeah.
He's got such amazing chemistry with all the women that seem to be in his life, even after several years. What did you see in him where he would be able to, not necessarily seduce these women, but really just become a part of their lives in such a powerful degree?
Well, it's interesting that you say that, and I think that's something that is certainly worth continuing to explore, because I think that he's a guy that is better with them. Joe Carroll is someone that is so charming. You know what I mean? He has such a, and my character really admires his way with people, his way to manipulate people and all that kind of stuff. I don't think that Ryan really has those kinds of skills, except for women, or at least a couple of women. You know what I mean? Even with the Natalie Z character, he's a little awkward. I mean, he kind of talks about how he just kind of split and never called him.
But those are his closest relationships. His closest relationships are a serial killer and these other women. Right. And that's lasted almost a decade of his life. That's still powerful for a man who's kind of given up on life.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's going to be part of what we discover in terms of his complexity. And where that actually goes, it's hard to say. But I think that he's a guy that, Kevin said this to me early on, and this sort of has become my linchpin. It's something that I want to keep coming back to. He's a guy that feels like death surrounds him. He's been in a lot of experiences where people have died, and people close to him have died. Things in my mind that may not even make it into the pilot that are part of sort of like my backstory. And I think that, strangely enough, even though getting back into the field and having the opportunity to work on finding Joe and putting him back in jail wakes him up, makes him kind of crawl out of the grave and give him a purpose for living again, it's also going to create a situation where there's going to be people dropping dead all the time, and I think that's going to continue to torture him.
What did you think when you saw the pilot finished?
I loved it. I loved it. But I'll tell you what I thought. I thought, wow, that's my whole performance. Because that's what I'm used to doing. I look at movies and I go, that's it. That's all I did. And then I had to remind myself that wasn't my whole performance. That's just the beginning. Hopefully.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully we get at least 2 on the air.
Yeah.
You know, that was an interesting adjustment that I had to make. Because, you know, when you do a movie, obviously it can all get cut out or whatever, you know, but you kind of construct the performance so that you show all the things about that character that you want to show. So I didn't show everything that I want to show about, but I didn't have to.
And how did you come as that character? How is it different from any other place?
Well, let's see. I mean, there's so many ways. There's so many details in terms of where he's from and his history, and I think that you know, it's interesting for a guy that it's not that often. I think it's probably partly self-fulfilling, but it's not that often that I've been able to be the guy who, you know, is the hero. He's the one that you know, carries a gun and gets the threat. You know what I mean? It's like that's for as many years as I've been doing this, that hasn't really come into my life all that often, and so I think that's something that I'm sort of hoping to embrace.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Thanks very much.